Alright guys, welcome to the video. So in this video, we're going to be telling you exactly how you can go and get a job. Now this works if you're experienced and if you're not experienced. Now I want to emphasize that it's not always about your beautifully designed CVs or your incredible interview and answers and how you dressed for the interview. Those are not so much the value. What is more important is your personal brand. Who you are, what you do, what value do you bring to the company. That is more important. Now that being said, your CV and your interview process and your LinkedIn profile are very good tools to convey who you are. So that's why in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make the best CV and how to optimize your LinkedIn profile on top of different tips and tricks that you can use to get a job today. I will be honest with you, getting a job in South Africa is not the easiest of things because a lot of companies look for very specific requirements, and if you don't meet one of those requirements, they automatically dismiss you. Now, I know that is a little bit unfair because people should not always be judged on what qualifications they have, but more on who they are and what potential they have to do the company some good. But that being said, it is possible to get a job. Now, one thing that does make getting jobs, especially in South Africa, a bit easier is knowing people. Now that is kind of a sad thing, but unfortunately it is very true. So this is why I think the concept of networking is super important when looking for a job. Always try and do your best to meet new people, meet professionals, try and get yourself into positions where you find yourself getting into these connect groups or relationships with these professional people that can get you access to different types of companies. The reason for this is if somebody in the company already says, hey, I can vouch for this person, then it increases your chances a lot when they actually choose the shortlist and actually choose candidates for the interviews. So that being said, let me show you how to make your CV so that you have a chance of getting an interview. Alright guys, so now what we're going to be doing is looking at what makes up a great CV. Now I've done lots of research, looking at videos, looking at different articles, and even messaging recruiters to see what they know that they really look for in a CV. Now from all of this information, we have come up with 6 elements that have to be on your CV for it to be classed as a good attention grabbing CV. So let's get straight into it. So I kind of made like a demo CV of somebody that has no experience. Now later on, or in contrast, I will show you what somebody with experience would have to put in these sections, but right now this CV that we're going to be going through now is something I just made for myself for somebody that has no experience. So if we look at the CV, we see obviously I put my name, and then I like to put a tagline to just encompass who you are. Alright, so because this CV is very sales focused, which means I'm only going to be applying to sales jobs with it, I put a tagline next to my name, sells ice to Eskimos. Now that's just something funny, but it also just kind of shows the recruiter or whoever's looking at my CV a bit of my personality. So other key information that you need to have here is your location. I live in Wall Street, Sandton. A phone number. This is not my actual phone number. And your email address. This is actually my email address. If you want to send me an email, you can. And finally, the most important aspect that you need on the cover banner of your CV is your LinkedIn profile. And please link it in so that if they actually click it, they would go straight to your LinkedIn profile. Okay, the next element that you need on your CV is your professional summary. Now this is like 4 to 5 sentences that basically encompasses who you are, what you do, what makes you valuable, and why that company should hire you. Now just remember, for this CV, this person has no experience, so I kind of wrote it in relation to that. So let's just read it quickly. Motivated recent graduate with a solid academic background and a passion for community service. A dedicated and disciplined individual. I excelled both academically and athletically during my school years, showcasing leadership skills as the captain of the soccer team. Committed to making a positive impact, I volunteered at the SPCA for 3 months and served at my local church for 5 years, demonstrating a strong sense of responsibility and teamwork. Eager to leverage my diverse experiences and contribute to a dynamic work environment while continuing to learn and grow professionally. Now, if you see there's no real experience, but I formatted in a way to actually seem quite impressive and to showcase that, hey, I do have value, I do have skills, and this is why you should hire me. Now, let me show you how I actually came up with this. We're going to go to my best friend, ChatGPT. Now, on ChatGPT, you're going to literally tell them, hey, I am a school graduate, and I was in the volleyball team. I also volunteered at my local SPCA. Please write this as a professional summary for my CV. And now ChatGPT literally wrote an entire paragraph that we can then just place on our CV. Easy as that. So literally just copy and paste it for your CV. Okay, next up we have the core competencies, or your main skills. So now, because this person is not skilled in any way, I just put very general core competencies: leadership, team collaboration, and so on. You can just read it here. Okay, next up we have professional experience. Now, as I said, this person's never worked a day in their life. So in this space, I actually just put in my volunteer work and what I actually learned at those places. So at the SPCA, I contributed 3 months of dedicated service during school holidays. I collaborated with diverse teams to support the mission, developed empathy and compassion through working with animals and the community. So it's things like that, of things that you do in your normal life that you have to kind of relate it onto a CV if you have no experience. Now, if you do have experience, look at the screenshot of the CV of somebody that does web developing or IT developing. You can see that it looks very different to what is on here, because you would actually list where you worked, what you did, and what value you gained from that place of work. Okay, and finally, you can put in your relevant projects, which is anything that you could have worked on in the past, or your education, which is the last thing that we really need. Now, remember, we put in our key skills, we put in our experience, we put in our education, our personal, professional summary, our CV header, and lastly, what you can also put in that I didn't put in on this CV is your hobbies and interests. So just that the recruiter or the employer can just learn a little bit more about yourself. Now, I highly recommend putting this section in, especially if you don't have that much experience to go along with your CV. Also, please don't make your CV longer than 1 or 2 pages. Alright guys, so if you just put a little bit more effort into your CV, you would be able to design it a lot better and put in all the necessary information. So take an example of a CV that I would have made for myself if I was applying for a job. And now, as you can see, it looks a lot better and there's a lot more detailed information on the CV. Alright, so just to help you guys, below this video there's going to be a link that's going to give you access to a bunch of CV templates. So you can just choose one, whichever one you think looks cool, and put in your necessary information on there. Please stick to the 6 elements that we just discussed. Alright guys, so now we're going to be looking at your LinkedIn profile. Now, LinkedIn is a free social media that you can download that's really professional, and a lot of recruiters and companies post jobs on this platform. So if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, just go download it off the Play Store or the App Store and then create your LinkedIn profile. Now, when you're creating it, there's a few things you need to take into consideration to give it that extra professional, more cooler look. Now, I'm going to show you a LinkedIn profile now, and this is what you should not do. If we look at this profile by Richard Sarsi, terrible banner. It doesn't tell us anything about him or give us any information. There's no profile picture. He gives us his past work experience where he was rejected. So he was a rejectee at these different places. He wanted to be on Twitter's board, so you know, he was impressed by the latest Twitter deal. Or if you look at his other things, he dressed up in a suit and he prepared for the event, but he still got rejected. Or you know, he received free pumpkin spice lattes and chocolate peanut butter. So this is things that you do not go on your LinkedIn profile. So please don't make your profile anything like this. Let me show you my LinkedIn profile. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's a lot better than this guy's. So if you go to mine, we see that there's a banner. Now, this banner tells you all the necessary information that you need from me. I am the owner of these companies. This is my name. And then I liked a little tagline explaining my 3 achievements or what I really do. Now, then you see there's a proper headshot photo showing who I am, my name, you know, overview of what I do. And then if we go down, active posts, the more actively you post or create your own content on LinkedIn, the more professional and problem solving you seem. Now, the about section, this is super important. Once again, you can use ChatGPT to do the section, but let's look at mine. ChatGPT did help me with it, I'll be honest. And I just basically speak about my achievements, what I've studied, what I've done, what skills I've learned, and what I'm currently doing. Now, if we move on, experience. These are my experiences. I personally haven't worked in the corporate industry before. I've just done my own businesses. And then, your education. You list what you've studied. If you haven't really gone to tertiary education, list your certifications, list your school results, those kind of things. And that's basically it. That's basically all you need in your LinkedIn profile. So if you want to make a banner like this and make your thing look better, please use Canva. Canva is a free design tool. Just go into Google, search Canva, and you can literally make it online. You also have the option of downloading the app, and you can make something like this in minutes through a drag and drop builder. But that's it for your LinkedIn optimization. Please work hard on it. It actually goes a long way towards you getting a job. Now, our YouTube statistics actually shows that a lot of you watching the content are not subscribed. So please do us a favor. If you find any value in any of the content we post, please hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you know exactly when you post. Now, one of the easiest jobs to get in South Africa is a job at an insurance broker or even at a bank. Now, a lot of these jobs are not always on Careers24 or LinkedIn or these different types of platforms. Sometimes you just have to go to the company's website and literally scroll down all the way to the footer of the website and press careers. When you press careers, you'll see a lot more job opportunities that you can actually apply for. Now, when it comes to banks and insurance brokers, something that will actually definitely get you a job into these companies is if you get an RE5 certification or your FAIS accreditation. Now, your RE5 qualification is actually quite cheap. It's like 1,250 Rand. So if you just save up the money and actually do this accreditation, it will really increase your chances of getting a job at a bank or at an insurance company. Now, the FAIS also can really increase your chances of getting it, but it's a little bit more expensive, coming in at about 30,000 Rand, and it will take you about a year to do this accreditation. But trust me, it will be worth it if you want to go into this field, because once you get into companies like Outsurance or Netbank or Absa, they do a lot to actually scale up their workers that start off at like the call center or in sales. They spend a lot of money investing into their employees so that you can gain a lot more skills, a lot more value, and get a much better job from there forward. All right, now for some of my 2 cents. Now, if you are a type of person that is not under pressure for a job and you kind of have some support from your parents, I highly recommend you looking into what your passion is. Don't just choose a random field that you're going to say, okay, I have to just start making money now, and then you get stuck in this field for the rest of your life. If you have some time, choose what type of niche you want to be in. Look at your passions, look at what you genuinely enjoy, and work towards that. If that means you have to do like a 1-year diploma or something like that, then do it, because it's going to be worth it in the long run. That being said, personally, I wouldn't be applying for jobs. I would just look at a new business venture or a different side hustle that I can actually try and do. That's just because I don't ever see myself working in corporate. I don't know, I just don't really like the environment, but that's just me. I prefer business. So I would look at something in that line, upskilling myself so that I can learn these high valuable skills and then sell that as a service. Trust me, that's much more worth it in my opinion. You do you know where you want to be in life, what field you want to get into. So just make sure you decide correctly on which path you're going to take in your life. Not every job that you apply for, you will get accepted. Okay, rejection is a part of the process. Now, a lot of people might say, hey, you got lucky if you apply for your first job and you get in. And yes, luck is a part of the process, but the best way to remove luck from the process is through volume. If you have chosen the field that you want to go into, apply to as many companies, to as many positions, even above your skill level, maybe even below your skill level, and apply to as many as you possibly can, because the more jobs you apply to, the less luck becomes part of the equation. And I guarantee that if you just do it consistently for months on end, you will definitely get interviews and 100% eventually get the job that you're looking for. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching the video. I really hope that you found some value in it. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section below. And if you haven't, I think content creation could be a really good side hustle for you to start right now. So check out this video to know exactly how to do it.